Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. And I know I haven't been active lately. I've been more active on my Twitch this time around. So if you want to go ahead and check that out, I'll leave a description linked out in the description. So today I want to talk about I want to make kind of like a review of Kingdom Hearts 3. And this is gonna be just my opinion, and I know there's like a lot of reviews out there, a lot of stuff, and I want to talk about kind of like my perspective, because I'm a Kingdom Hearts fan, but I'm not a huge Kingdom Hearts fan. I haven't played all the games. I've heard the story, I've seen the story millions of times, thousands of times, you name it. I've talked about it a lot, and I've played most of the games. It's just that don't finish them, because these games can drag on a long time, up to like 40 hours, and it's yeah. But I have played the major ones. I've played Kingdom Hearts 1, I played Kingdom Hearts 2, I played Birth by Sleep, and I've played the card one, which is Chain of Memories, but I did not pass it because it just gets frustrating and I don't like the card mechanic, but that's something else. So this video is going to be split into two parts. Basically, the first part is going to be talking about the game, the good stuff, and a little bit of bad, but it's going to be no spoilers, so it's going to be spoiler free. And then the second time, it's going to be spoilers, okay, like heavy spoilers. And I'm going to try to put some video out there, some videos of Kingdom Hearts 3 gameplay and videos, but unfortunately Disney and Square Enix are like really strict with these kinds of things, and they restrict how much I can record and how much I can't. And since I do it directly through my PS4, it just straight up blocks my recordings, so it's limited as how much as I can show. But moving on, so the game this time around, it's been 13 years since pretty much Kingdom Hearts 2 came out, and it's what I wanted actually, but at the same time it wasn't. So is the game any good? Yes and no, and that's something question I'll come back to many times in this discussion. So starting off, the worlds are amazing, the graphics are amazing. Donald looks so realistic, you can actually see his feathers. Goofy looks realistic too, it's kind of off sometimes. And Sora, man, he looks amazing too. And the worlds, man, their worlds are huge, they're huge. There's so much exploring to do. There's mechanics like wall running, flow motion is back from Dream Drop Distance. There's links, and then there's so many stuff that was improved upon from previous games. For example, back in Kingdom Hearts, the first game, I hated flying enemies. There was the worst flying enemies were the worst. They're just the worst. And then in Kingdom Hearts 2, it was improved upon it. There was more motion up in the air. And then 2.8 came out with Aqua, and it's just made fighting airborne enemies so easy. And then Kingdom Hearts 3 stick to that, and fighting airborne enemies, it's basically not a hassle. I mean, you can come back and deflect their things. It's just sometimes the camera, it's automatic, so the camera kind of gets in the way sometimes. So speaking of good things here, the Keyblades, the way they made the Keyblade system around is much better, because they're not obsolete after the first Keyblade. You can literally just use the Kingdom Key all throughout, and this is because you can upgrade them, and every single Keyblade has a different form. So for example, this time around there's no drive feature, so you don't have Battle Form, Wisdom Form, or Master Form, or what's the final form. Either way, you don't have any of those. Instead, you have these Keyblade forms, so that when you attack or defeat the enemy enough times, you fill up this gauge, and once you fill it up, you can change your Keyblade and depending on the keyblade, it can change your outfit, it can change the keyblade itself, or it can change your attacks. For the Kingdom Key, which is very much the basic one, you changed into second form, and it has all the movesets pretty much from previous Kingdom Hearts. It has Sonic Blade, Arms Akarams, I believe that's how you put it, and it has Deflect, and it has Stun, that one move from Kingdom Hearts 1 Final Mix when it first came out. And it makes the Kingdom Keys not obsolete anymore, because you can upgrade them and you can make them stronger than any other keys that you have, but obviously it's not going to be strong as the Master Keyblade, the Final Keyblade, and I keep forgetting the name of it. I'm sorry. But the Final Keyblade, we all know it. We all use it. Anything. So moving on to the worlds. So the worlds were big, they were huge. My only problem is that all the worlds seems too separate from each other. Like in previous games, the world story seemed parallel to your own, but in this one, it seems like the characters from that world are having their own side story, and you're just there in the background waving, "Hello, I'm still here," and it feels off. Okay, you can still have these characters as your party members, but as soon as any conflict arises that's big, they straight up leave, and they leave you by yourself. Like if a bus comes over, sometimes these characters just leave you alone and they go have their own side story somewhere else. And one thing that I didn't like, obviously, is that actually I'm gonna leave that for later. As I said, all the worlds just seem so bad. They seem like watching the whole movie again, but condensed into cliff notes. And it's just somebody is trying to describe it to you, but it's so bad. The Pirates of the Caribbean world is, if you haven't seen the movie, you're gonna be so lost. There's just so lost. And any other world, and again, cliff notes. If you haven't seen the movies, you're gonna be lost. But I guess they're assuming that you've seen the movies to these, but they're pretty old movies, they're popular movies, so maybe you've seen them, maybe you haven't. And one thing that the game that's just I don't like, the amount of cutscenes and loading screens. It's just so many of them. You can go into a world, you load in, and then you're like, oh, look at this, there's so much grass, there's so much water. You walk 2 steps, cutscene. Oh, really, cutscene? Okay, cutscene's over. Okay, let's go to the next area. Loading screen. Okay, loading screen. You load into the next area. You take 2 steps, cutscene. There's so many cutscenes, and at some point I just gave up and I started looking at my phone instead, because these cutscenes were just like meh. I mean, I've already seen these movies. I've already seen what happens. There's no need for me to see these cutscenes anymore. Like, they straight up have Let It Go from Frozen. It's just they put Sora in the background. Why do I need to see that? No. And then they have the whole Tangled thing, but it's just Sora's in the background the whole time. It's like, what's the point of this? I don't need to see this. And there's just so many cutscenes, and if you look online and look at all the cutscenes that they have, it can go up to like 10 hours. And I finished the game in 21 hours, and that's for me taking breaks and stuff. So basically the game has half cutscenes, half gameplay. Like, really? If you went through the whole game, you could probably just finish it in 5 hours with all the cutscenes or nothing. Because I did a bit of exploring myself. And let's see, in every single world there's these mini games, like at least 1 or 2 mini games in every world, which is ridiculous because they had a world especially for that. They had the pool world, 100 acre woods, especially for mini games. But now every single world has a mini game, and it just makes the world drag on longer than it needs to. It's the worst. And then we have dialogue. Dialogue can be a pretty map, but it just seems kind of stiff sometimes. It seems kind of forced. For example, Aqua, when you hear her, she just sounds dead. Like, she doesn't sound like Aqua. She just sounds, I don't know, dead. Like she's not even there, which is probably the point of the game. But even after all that, it sounds different. And every single character kind of acts like that. There's a lot of, huh? Who? What? It's like watching a badly dubbed anime. And I'm not joking, guys. It can be pretty bad sometimes and kind of cringy. Going back to the story, again, no spoilers on this one, nothing big. It's probably stuff you already seen on trailers and other stuff. So, in every single world, you confront an Organization 13 member, and it's just dialogue. It's just dialogue. It's pointless, because they come in, they go, ah, ha, 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 they laugh at you and everything, they point you out, and then it's just go ahead and teleport somewhere else. It's just when I think I'm like, yes, I can finally fight an organization member after all this time, and they just pull him away, and we don't even get to interact with him at all out of cutscenes. It's just like, are you kidding me? What are you doing here then? There's no point of you being here if I can't fight you yet. Just wait until the final battle and then tell me all you need to tell me. Otherwise, you being here is pointless. And then going back to that question that I asked you guys before, well, that I answered, is the game good? Well, it's good for a Kingdom Hearts fan. It's literally, it gave me chills. Like, just the opening was so good. It recaps all the previous Kingdom Hearts games, and it gives me chills. Okay, it just, you go watch it. If you're a Kingdom Hearts fan, you'll understand. And it's bad though, because if anybody who hasn't played previous Kingdom Hearts is gonna be so lost, because they take all the previous Kingdom Hearts games and punch them up into this one, like literally story after story after story after game after game, and people that never played Kingdom Hearts before are gonna be like, huh? Wait, who is this? What? Even myself, every single time. So once the conclusion started coming in, the ending, no spoilers again, my reaction was, huh? Who? What? When? How? I was so lost. It's just, okay, again, Kingdom Hearts 3, good for the fans, kinda maybe great for the people who have never played before. And well, that reaches my no spoil review here. So if you don't want anything spoiled, please click up right here, and this is where I'm gonna move on to the spoiling parts, and I'm gonna show a lot of major stuff here. A lot. Did you click off yet? If you haven't, good. Stay. So, starting off, the game is too easy, even on proud mode. It's just, proud mode feels like normal mode, because they just give you too many chances not to die. Okay, you have these carousels like Disney theme park rides, and they come up way too often. They have the Ferris wheel, well, not the Ferris wheel, the carousel wheel, my bad. They have like this splash mountain type thing, they have a blaster, and they come up too often. They deal a lot of damage. They have the pirate ship. You've seen the pirate ship. It's like pretty much in every single trailer. They deal way too much damage. They come up too often. And then they have these thing called Kupu coins, which is like pretty much a get out of jail free card, because if you die, the Koopa coin literally revives you back with full health and full MP. And it's just like, are you kidding me, dude? It's just everything's already easy. And then there's the links. Since your mana, your MP comes back pretty often. I mean, you just have to run around and wait for it to recharge, right? And you can spam it, and it fully heals you every single time you use a link. And like I said, the game is just too easy. They just give you too many things not to die. The commands that you can use with your party members, again, come up too often. The form changes on the keyblades can be kind of pretty overpowered depending what kind of keyblade you have. Some of them are pretty much the same, others are, I don't know, they're a little different. They're all good though, they're all fun to use. It's good to experiment. And there's also, it just feels like a lack of worlds. Or maybe it's just me, it's just, there's not that many worlds. Before, there used to be these two parts, right? So you would go to a world, do something, and then later on you would come back, and that world would be like harder with more enemies, different enemy types, and you'd have extra bosses in there, and that's just how it went back then. Now it's just like you go to this world, you finish it, and that's it. You don't come back anymore unless you want to explore and find some treasure. There's also this lack of bosses and lack of memorable bosses. Like when I first went to Olympus, we fought just some random dude, I believe. I can't even remember who we fought, but we went and we fought the Rock Titan. Okay, he was there, and it's like, it's just pretty meh fight. I mean, for the beginning fight, it was great. Okay, it introduced us to the game and it was epic, but it was just like meh fight. Back in Kingdom Hearts 1, it was kind of like, whoa, we get to fight a big titan, and it's like, now it's just like meh. And then the final boss battle for that fight is the Ice Titan, the Lava Titan, and the Tornado Titan all at the same time. And I'm just like, are you serious, man? These guys are pushovers. You telling me I can beat these guys pretty easily in the first world? Back in the first Kingdom Hearts game, they used to be like secret super hard bosses. You guys, if you ever played Kingdom Hearts 1, the Ice Titan fight was like one of the hardest things, and they compensate you with one of the coolest keyblades too. An ice keyblade that increases your mana by so much. Not even the ultimate keyblade could give you that much mana. It was just so much fun. But now they just throw them all at once and they feel weak. There's also this lack of secret bosses. Literally all the bosses that you fight are on your path. There is sort of kind of like a secret boss, but he's not like a boss. It's just kind of like a random Heartless that looks like a Pokemon. And honestly, I can't go back and tell you, oh, I remember this boss, because I can't. None of them were memorable enough for me to remember and tell you which boss I fought and had the hardest time with. No, every single boss was pretty much easy. Maybe I died once in one of them, but even then the Koopa coin brought me back. And then there's just so many enemies now. You can fight over like 50 enemies at once, and it doesn't feel like a strategy anymore. It just feels like a hack and slash. There's just way too many enemies. Before, every single fight that you fought was pretty much life and death. Now it's just like, oh, hack and slash, use a command, oop, you're done, and pretty much without getting hit or anything. And let's see what else. Okay, moving on to the final stage, the climax. And oh my god, I have so much trouble with this, but it was so much fun to watch and to progress to it. So, starting off, all the organization members are back, Every single one of them. Even the ones that you defeated in the previous games. And the thing that they use, the excuse they use is, oh, time travel. And I'm just shaking my head and I'm saying, what? What? You serious? You're putting this all to time travel? You're just taking every single game previous to this and using time travel as an excuse to pretty much throw all the storylines away. And then there's so much stuff coming at you at once. Like the last 1 or 2 hours is basically what everybody's been waiting for. But it's the last 2 hours. They don't lead up to it. They just straight up throw you into it. And it just seems like too much, too fast. I couldn't keep up. And even then, I kind of know some of these games, right? I've seen it, and I'm just like, some of these characters, I've never seen them before. Okay, and then biggest gripe I have is Sion from Kingdom Hearts, 362 over 8 days or something like that. Man, I don't even remember that name. That game was just a mess. But she's back. They don't explain how she's back, but Terra, Roxas, Ventus, Aqua are back. So you go to save Aqua. It's a pretty memorable fight. You fight her, but she's weak. She's weak. She's supposed to be a Keyblade master, and you can kick her butt. That fight was so underwhelming. And then there's just so many problems with the characters because everything revolves around Sora. Everything. And every single other character that's out there just seems to be a side character. I was so excited to finally see Kairi grow as a character, and no, she just gets pushed to the sidelines and we never see her fight. She's just basically there for Sora to be like, oh, I can have something to fight for now, because they actually get together this time around. They start holding hands. They don't kiss. Okay, well, I mean, we all knew what's gonna happen. Sora and Kairi were gonna get together. They literally share a pipe of fruit, which means that, well, they got together. And it just seems like she's there to have a reason to Sora to fight, and she doesn't seem like to contribute at all. Like, she pulls out her Keyblade, maybe like kills like 2 Heartless, and that's it. That's all she does the whole game. And then Riku is there. He's such a cool character. He's so badass, but he's so underused. You get to control him 2 times, and his moveset is nice, but it's just, he's so underused in this game. And then once Aqua comes back, you get to fight her as her against I keep forgetting his name. Not Ventus. Vanitas. That's right. You get to fight against Vanitas as her, and it's just Vanitas again, weak. Like, I don't know what happened, but every single character, every single major character you fight is weak. And then so Ventus comes back, and so does Roxas, and everyone's just there like, okay, cool, they're back. Hi, how you doing? And nobody seems to react. They just kind of roll with it. Terra comes back, and everyone's like, hey, Terra's back, and then cool, they move on. It's just, they come back, they make it seem like it was supposed to be a big deal, like this is what we were fighting for the whole time, and then they come back and it's just like, oh cool, you're back, nice to see you again. Are you kidding me? And then man, it's just, the finale was just a straight up mess. So you finally get to fight the organization members, and they throw 3 at you at the same time. So you fight with somebody else though, so you can fight with Aqua or with Riku or with King Mickey. They don't really help you out, actually. They don't like have their own unique links or commands that you can use with them. They're pretty much just there to help you out a little bit. But they throw like 3 at the same time. And then back in Kingdom Hearts 2, Kingdom Hearts 1, these organization members were so OP that they had to throw 1 at a time. They couldn't throw 2, 3, or 4 at the same time because they were that powerful. So either Sora got like super powerful, or they got super weak because they keep throwing 2, 3 at a time. And honestly, even in proud mode, I had no difficulty. They were just big pushovers. All they did was pretty much was stun lock me in a combo that I couldn't get out of, and I was fine because I had that second chance ability that gives me 1 HP even if I get hit by multiple combos at the same time. And every single time you defeat one, you get a cutscene, so it takes you out of the fight to get a cutscene, and then it brings you back in with the organization members that are still alive. But fortunately, it doesn't give them full health, but it just seems underwhelming. Okay, so that's that. It's just they throw everything at you, and it just can be too much all at once. And then moving on to the final fight. Okay, this is where it just starts blowing up. There's too much. So everyone dies. Okay, just process that real quick. Everyone dies. Literally everyone dies. Even Sora. He goes. Well, technically they're not dead. They're like, their body is still there, but their heart is somewhere else, which is like, okay. And Sora goes to this world. It's straight up called Final World, and it's just water and sky pretty much. And you get to meet an old friend from the mobile games, that little dude. I don't know his name, but he looks like a little tanuki or a little puppy. You've probably seen him. He has a little cape and everything. I keep forgetting his name because he doesn't come up too much. And so Sora, his heart is in that world, and he's trying to piece himself back together, and he goes through all these portals trying to get everyone else's hearts. And then at the end, Kairi comes in and she saves him out of the darkness and brings him back, and we're back before everyone died, which is like, wait, what happened? Did we go back in time? This is why I hate the mechanic of time. Like, you go and do something, and then you come back and it's before everything happened. It's just like, what, did we go back in time, or was Sora just dreaming this whole time? Like, I can't understand. So Terra is there. Well, it's Terra Nort. He's there, and he kills everybody. And then out of nowhere, Terra's armor shows up, and then he's just like, hey dude, what's up? I got your backs. It's like, where did you come from? You haven't been here like the whole game, or just all of a sudden you show up? It's like, okay man, whatever, you helped us out. And then we fight this big ball of darkness, which is just basically a low level Heartless bunched up into a ball. And you've seen this guy before. He was in 2.8, and that's pretty much the battle that we did on 2.8 is the battle that we do on Kingdom Hearts 3. But again, we die, but somehow we get saved. And then comes the mobile game. Okay, so pretty much all the Keyblades around you come back to life, and they help you out. You ride them, you throw them, and you can see like a bunch of players on the side of the screen, a bunch of random names that were probably like part of a contest or something from the mobile game. And you throw the Keyblades at the big ball of darkness, and once all the Keyblades are done, well, you're done. You destroy that big ball. So moving on, everyone's back together. Everyone's back together. They're in a labyrinth where you have to fight all the organization members, and then you fight Semnis, the first Semnis from Kingdom Hearts 1. That's the one you fight, and his little bodyguard, turns out it was Terra all along. And it's like, what? When did that show up? It is so overwhelming. I couldn't understand what was going on. Apparently, the little Semna's bodyguard that he has, the little floating darkness guy, is Terra. Was Terra the whole time. So he fights back, and the bodyguard takes over Terranord's body, and he's back. And it's just like, if it was that easy, dude, why didn't it happen before? Like, you've been here the whole time? Literally? And it's just, okay, man, whatever, right? So we're back. We defeated all the organization members, and this is the final battle. But because we defeated all the organization members, the real Xehanort, the old guy, he has 13 darkness keyblades, and he can use that to forge the keyblade, the actual keyblade, spelled K-I and then blade. So he has the keyblade, and we go to this world. We basically put him to sleep. Sora goes into his body, to his heart. Like, if anything that you do in this game is basically heart and then sentence. So we go into his heart. We go into the world where all the master keyblades were forged. Back, you see this world in the first cutscene when Xehanort and Master Ericus are talking when they were kids. And you go to this world, you fight him. He clones himself, and then he puts himself back together, and he has a cool set, but like every single moveset that he has is from previous organization members, because he takes them all, makes 13 copies of himself, and you fight all 13. You don't fight all 13, but you can fight one, and the damage is spread throughout all 13. But all the moveset are pretty much stuff that you already seen. And then you go back, he gets back into his form, and he has this huge armor, which apparently every single master keyblade from before had one. And this one's cool because you use all the elements that you learned. You fly, you swim. Every single element that you learned so far comes into play here. And then you fight the actual Xehanort. So this final battle just dragged on. He has 3 forms. Well, actually, it's kind of like 4, but the first one doesn't really count because he just stands there and shoots like fireballs or something at you. But he has 3 official forms, and it's just dragged down the battle. And then so you defeat him, and he won't give up. He's like, I can still fight, even though he's like limping. And then Terra and everybody else, they come in through Kingdom Hearts. It's like, okay. So everyone else went into his heart, and now we're here in this broken world. And Terra steps up, and Master Ericus comes out of him. And the whole time I was like, what? Dude, you've been here the whole time. Everybody thought you were dead. What are you doing here? And like, Terra is just like, oh yeah, I knew about this. I was like, dude, nobody bats an eye. Literally, the only one that bats an eye is Master Xehanort. He's like, oh, you sly old dog. And everybody else is like, oh, that's cool. There's no impact here. Like, nobody reacts. Except for Master Xehanort, the one dude that's supposed to be heartless and not have a heart. So he comes out, and he's like, okay, man, you're done. That's it. Let's go home. And Master Xehanort reveals his plan. And it's just kind of like he was trying to do the right thing, but he did it the wrong way. So what he wanted to do was eradicate all the darkness in the world, because at first there was only darkness, and then light spun up, and with light came people. But the people had so much darkness in their heart that instead of keeping the balance, the darkness grew. So he wanted to destroy the darkness in people's hearts. But the way he wanted to go about it sounded like he wanted to destroy all mankind together and start new. And so that's why he got defeated. That's why he was the bad guy. So Master Xehanort is done, and he reminisces on the past, and he knows that there needs to be somebody to keep the balance. That's why he was doing that, so he could take up all the burden and be the one that keeps the balance. But because he got defeated by someone, he's like, oh, I'm not the master or keeper of this world. I'm not the guardian. And he hands the Keyblade to Sora. So Sora just becomes the guardian of light, like the very first guardian of light, the master, the boss, you name it. And he becomes that, and he closes Kingdom Hearts. They go back to their world, but Kairi is missing because she was taken by Master Xehanort and put somewhere else. So he has to go on this journey to find her. And then the ending, they roll the ending, and it's great. It's chills, the feels, you name it. But they show Kairi and Sora on Destiny Island, and Sora just disappears, and it's just Kairi. So Kairi is back, and Sora is missing. God knows where he's at. But everyone's back. Namin is back. Sion, Roxas, yeah, you name it. Ventus, Aqua, Terra, and everyone's just on Destiny Islands. That's pretty much where everyone's staying. Well, except for Aqua, Ventus, and Terra, they went back to the old world, which was repaired, rid of darkness. And that's great. I mean, after all, the final conclusion was great. It's just what I wanted. It's what every single Kingdom Hearts fan has been waiting for. But if you've never played any of the other games, if you're not a fan, you're going to be completely lost, and the ending is not going to be as great as it is to the actual fans. So wrapping up here, there's still a few things that kind of were iffy here, and there were like big plot twists. So turns out Sora had like 3 other hearts with him, which we all knew, right? This is pretty much given. The only thing that I didn't like is that Sora literally like forgets everything from the past games. Everything. Okay? His magic is gone. And that's another thing. There's like this lack of magic. Before there was like quite a bit of magic. You had thunder, blizzard, fire, air, gravity, time. And here you only have fire, blizzard, water, which I don't understand why you want water if you can use blizzard. And that's pretty much all in air, but air works differently. The air magic now, instead of putting like a defense shield around you, what it does a little whirlpool on the enemy, and you can get up top of that little whirlpool or tornado, and you can jump and get a flow motion attack going. But it's pretty useless. I never used it. And then the water attack, again, completely negatable with blizzard. Blizzard is way much better than water. And there's no time, there's no stop raw, there's no gravity. Those were missing, and it's just like, okay man, whatever. So since magic and the MP works different in this game, you're gonna be spamming a lot of magic. And magic is pretty powerful, actually. Really powerful. It can like clear out a wave of Heartless in one magic attack. And other thing here is that where Ventus was, it was just like, I never saw it coming either. He was always in Castle Oblivion, but all we needed was Aqua to unlock it. Pretty much, you go to Castle Oblivion, Aqua switches her keyblade, and it brings us back to the Aqua and Terra world where they used to live. And he was there the whole time, but nobody knew. The only one that knew was Aqua, which is pretty big plot twist. And it's like I never saw that coming. And let's see here. And so like I said, this is the last thing I'm gonna complain about, that I already kind of complained about. The game is way too easy. Like, they give you so many items, so many like defense items, that you can even upgrade it to plus to even make it more great defense. And it's just like literally the only person that could do damage at level 99 with a lot of defense. And there's also this one mechanic that they added, by the way, which is the food mechanic. And you can craft food like from Ratatouille. So there's gonna be like a lot of French cuisine and stuff that improves your stats, your HP, your defense, your MP, you name it, your AP. And it can last like up to like 30 minutes. I think that's the highest I've gotten. And with max defense that I have, and with max with not the best kind of food, but the best food I had, like not even the final boss could do any damage to me. And I'll probably put up a video here fighting the last boss, because man, with all those stats, he could barely touch me. Okay, the only one that could touch me was the secret boss, which is only one. Like one secret boss, really, man? In any other game had like 2, 3, 4, 5 secret bosses. This one only has one. And this is stupid, because even if you got to level 99 in the old games, the secret bosses could still be a challenge. Here you get to level 99, there's nothing else to do. You already got your ultimate keyblade. That's fine, you're done. I mean, that's it. There's no reason for you to continue playing the game. Just go ahead and play a new game. Okay? And that's another gripe that I have with, is the way that you get the ultimate keyblade. There's just so many mini games that you have to do. It's so tedious. Back in the first game, all you had to do was grind, maybe get lucky, fight some secret bosses to get something, some secret enemies, and do strategize to get those items. Now all you have to do is like play mini games 20 times, because you can't get what you need in the first try. You have to at least do it 20 times, and you have to collect these emblems, which are pretty much Mickey Mouse faces scattered all over the world that you have to take a picture of. And it's just stupid because they're everywhere, and like some of these emblems you're gonna miss, and I didn't really pay much attention to them until I noticed that I actually had to collect them to get myself the ultimate weapon. And it's just stupid. There's, I think, about 100 of them, and you need 80 to get that overchuckle. And you need to do this other thing. You need to send postcards that you get from the Moogle shop from buying stuff, and you can get them sometimes you don't get them. And when you send them, it's all RNG, so you have to leave it up to RNG to get the overchuckle. And then there's these things, flans, that are lying in every single world. There's 7 of them, and you have to get like an excellent score on them so they can give you the overchuckle. You have to get not a perfect score, like a pretty good score, really good score on all 7 to get the overchuckle. And it's tedious because I hate doing mini games. I just hate them, and to be forced to do them, and to be forced to collect pictures that I don't want to collect just to get the best weapon. And by the time that I got it, I was pretty much done with the game. There was nothing else left to do. Back in the previous Kingdom Hearts games, getting the ultimate weapon, that means you could have an extra chance at fighting these secret bosses that were super hard, like Sephiroth. Even, man, being level 99, having the ultimate weapon, and going against Sephiroth was still hard. Still hard. And then you had the there's no Olympus Coliseum this time around. There's no arena. So once you finish the Olympus world, you're done. You can't go back to it. You can go back to it and maybe find some treasure chests, but there's no reason to, because, well, there's no arena. You can't get special items or special wands or anything just by defeating these waves. So there's no point in going back. Well, guys, it's just okay. It's been just such a long video, and I think I'm done just talking about it. And I'm sorry if it was way too long. Just go ahead. I'm glad if you stayed all the way to the end. I'm glad that you did. And there's just so many things that I didn't even touch upon. So final verdict. This game is great. I mean, it's good. It's not Kingdom Hearts 2. It's not Kingdom Hearts 1. There's just pretty much spam X until win. But okay, as a Kingdom Hearts fan, this game was good. Okay, it's everything that I expected it to be, everything that I wanted it to be. The conclusion was good. I can't wait to see what comes up next, because this isn't the final one. There's gonna be more games, obviously, because the ending, it was just ended on a cliffhanger. And I'll post another video, probably like 5 minutes, talking about the ending, so the ending after the credits. I talked about the ending before the credits, and then I'm gonna talk about the ending after the credits, which is something completely else. And then so again, final verdict, love the game. Kingdom Hearts fan, wet dream. But if you never played another Kingdom Hearts game, you're gonna have fun. You're just not gonna understand what is going on. So the story is gonna fly through your head. And it's still fun just exploring these Kingdom Hearts worlds. Not the worlds, I mean the Disney worlds. Even if you haven't played any past Kingdom Hearts. But don't be expecting there to be a good story, okay, if you go into it. So again, play it if you have it, go ahead, but it's not a game that's gonna be in everyone's hearts like 10 years from now. For example, Kingdom Hearts 1 is still played so many years from now. It's been probably like 10-15 years since the game came out, probably 15 or longer, don't quote me on that. And people still love to play it. People still love to stream it. It's such a great game. But Kingdom Hearts 3, I think people are just gonna pass it and move on, because I mean, it was good, but there's just not much in terms of gameplay. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I'm sorry for the long video. There's just so much I had to say, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.